Hello, YouTube friends. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today's going to be a very different video because today I want to talk about MS. And while I'm talking about MS with you guys, I want to work on getting this art done too, or at least start getting prepared. But most important that I really want to discuss is multiple sclerosis, very common, called MS. Well, I gotta say that I'm not very happy about it, but I've been diagnosed with MS last week. We are 2020, January 7th, and on January 3rd, I met my oncologist to get the results of my MRI. So I'm gonna be discussing with you guys the symptoms so that you can learn about it too, be aware of it, and discuss it with your family and everybody, because I think the most important thing is to find it earlier. When last year in September, well, before that, let me explain my little bit of my background. In 2018, January 2018, I was diagnosed with colon cancer. And the symptoms that I had for colon cancer was a lot of pain in my legs, stomach pain, fatigue, and depression. So I've been through the whole process of getting the cancer under control and had surgery and got cured from cancer. And I stayed on my doctor, my oncologist. Sorry about this noise. My oncologist decided that she was going to keep me on the surveillance group. Pretty much she was watching everything that happened to me. I was supposed to be on that group for 1 year. Last year, when was my 1 year anniversary of cancer free, she decided to keep me longer. I don't know why. She said to me that my numbers was not perfect as she wanted, so she wanted to keep me watching me a little bit longer. So I had to go to the oncologist every 3 months and do blood work, and she would be looking at the blood work, comparing it, and letting me know if I was okay or not okay. So when I was on my 1 year anniversary of the cancer, she said to me that she was going to keep me on the surveillance longer than she was predicting, because she had originally said to me that I was going to be on surveillance just for 1 year. I guess I can say that I was lucky. So in March, this was in May, my 1 year anniversary of cancer free. And then in August, I start feeling tired again. And normally I'm a very active person, and I'm not usually, I get tired, but no, to get tired enough to stay in bed is very rare for me. Actually, to stay in bed is very rare. So in August, I start feeling the pain on my legs, and I start feeling very tired. And I also start feeling some numbness. So with that, I start thinking that I had cancer again. And none of my mind would cross my mind that I had MS. But my oncologist, I guess, also thought that I had cancer, because she ordered I had a lot of headaches too, a lot of headaches, like unbearable headaches. So I decided, she ordered the MRI with contrast. And I did it in November. When I did the MRI, they got the results in my oncologist office. And normally, every time I did any test with them, they would give me the results over the phone if it was negative, if there was nothing wrong to worry about it. So they never called me with the results. And then at the beginning of December, they called me, they wanted to see me, but I was very busy, and I said, well, I can't just stop everything. I have to work and I gotta catch up. I'm going out of town for the holiday, so I don't have time right now. And she was like, oh, don't worry about it. Just come here in January 3rd. So at that time, I didn't make nothing about it. And then I started thinking, I was like, how come? Oh, at that time, I asked if they had the results, and they said no, which was surprising because I had like 2 weeks done the MRI because I did the MRI back in November. So I was like, okay, don't have the results, don't have the results, let it be. So I decided to just wait. So about a week later, I was wondering if they had the results yet. So I called the office, my oncologist's office, and asked again if they had the results, and they said yes, we do. And I was like, well, can I at least get the results before January? And she was like, well, we can give the results over the phone. So when she said that, I was like, okay. I always got my results over the phone when it wasn't good, when it was good. And I said to her, so I guess it's a bad results then. And she said, I can't discuss it over the phone. You need to see the doctor. I was like, can I see the doctor earlier? Because at that point, then I was concerned because by then I was having a lot of headaches. I was having fatigue. I was having depression. I was having, my whole left side was numb. Every once in a while I would have a spasm and it would hurt. And I was also having a few other symptoms that I will discuss with you in details. So I thought I had cancer, brain cancer, and then I start getting worried about it. And I was like, well, they were like, well, just go have your vacation. By then it was almost mid-December, so I called them again. I was like, no, I need to get this result so I can rest. And either positive or negative, whatever it is, I want to know, because by then I was having the numbness on my left side every day, at least once a day. And once you have that numbness, which started with a tingling on my feet, I couldn't do pretty much nothing. So I pretty much could do not anything. So I did. She didn't give me the results over the phone. I tried to see if she had any openings for me to go see her before I went on my vacation, so that I could relax on my vacation. And nothing. So when I got back from my trip on the 2nd, I went on my appointment on the 3rd, and that's when I had the news that I was positive for MS. So I want to go over with you guys what can you be watching for. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not a doctor. I just feel like there are some things that we really need to do to prevent. I wish I had known this when I was young, and a lot of people don't take this seriously, but your eating habit for your whole life will make a big difference on what happened to you. I didn't eat right my whole life. I hated vegetables. I still do. I didn't do any juicing. I actually didn't know about juicing until I had cancer. I didn't exercise because I hate exercising. So I started exercising way too late. And there's some things that you need to do. But this video today is pretty much about the symptoms that I had. And everybody's different. Everybody has different symptoms. And it doesn't mean if you have these symptoms does not mean that you have MS or cancer or any disease. But it's very important that you go see a doctor, because it could be nothing, but it could also be something. So it's best to find it earlier. Like a lot of people that I've been researching found that they had MS too late and causes them to lose mobility. And that's not what I wanted to happen to me. So that's why I decided to, do this video so people know if they have anything to go see a doctor. Go do some exam. If you don't have insurance, I know, find some places where you can go. But the symptoms I had was pretty much common to a lot of different diseases. Even with the cancer, that's why I thought I had cancer again. Because I first felt very fatigued. I was always tired. I'm still tired. Everything you do, pretty much anything I do, I feel tired. And it's not a normal tired. I guess when you people say, "Oh, I'm tired," but this tiredness from a disease like MS and a disease like cancer is a different tired. So you pretty much need to know your body because it's not just okay, I'm tired. No, you feel a tiredness that's it's hard to explain. It's almost like from your soul. So I start feeling like that again back in. I start doing a diary. That's another thing that I think is very important for everybody that's feeling anything, pretty much. If you start feeling anything, you should start a journal. Or I do a calendar. I get a calendar and I write it on it. Today I felt tired. And it's not just tired, it's like really exhausted. Today I had headache. So I started, the first symptom I had was the headaches. I had headaches all the time. I still do. But they were, I guess it was because I was first starting feeling the headaches. I couldn't really deal with the headaches. And because of I got issues with my liver, I cannot take Tylenol because Tylenol is very bad for your liver. So I already had issues with my liver because of the medication I was taking for the cancer. So I was like, no, I'm not taking Tylenol. I have to learn to deal with the pain, which I'm pretty much managing to learn to deal with the headaches. But I started writing down headache, headache, headache every single day. And then I think the headache was probably the first symptom I had. Then I started having fatigue every day. I was exhausted. I would work in the morning and then feel very tired. Next, I start feeling, I think I had, I can't remember when exactly, but my eyes start getting like spots. Every once in a while I got spots on my eyes. So when I had the first, my eyes, when I first had my problem with my eyes, that I saw this black blots on my eyes. I went to my doctor. I actually drove myself because my doctor is very close to my house. And I drove there and I was freaking out. And my blood pressure was very high. So the doctor thought that I was seeing those things because of my blood pressure. I now think it was because of the MS. So I was reluctant to take blood pressure medication because I'm already taking medication for thyroid. I didn't want to take another life for the rest of my life medication. But it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do to try to make the best of your life. So I decided when I had those black spots that I thought was getting blind, it freaked me out. So I said, you know what? I have to take the medication, so I will just take the medication. So my doctor prescribed me medication. I love my doctor. She's the best. And she prescribed me medication for the cholesterol, which was another thing that I had issues with from eating all that junk my whole life. So that's why I'm trying to, talk to everybody about eating. You gotta eat better. You gotta take care of your health when you're young, because when you get older, you start having all these other issues if you don't. So I end up taking cholesterol medication and also blood pressure medication. She said she thought I talked to her about the headaches, and she was like, "Well, the headaches could be that too." My blood pressure was like 180 over 110, which is very very high, and so she thought that maybe that's what was causing. I didn't do any MRI on my brain or anything like that because last year, also beginning of the year, I passed out and when I was on my oncologist office. So I ended up in the hospital. They sent me to the hospital, and in the hospital they did a MRI, without contrast. Whatever that is, I don't know anything about what the heck is contrast or no contrast, but I know what made the difference was this contrast thing. So when I did the MRI last year, it didn't show anything. Or maybe it was before the starting of the MS, who knows? But nothing came up. So when I did the, sorry, confusing. I'm trying to remember the dates, but I don't remember the dates. I'm not very good with dates. But um, in the hospital when I went last year, when I got passed out over my oncologist office, they did an MRI and they didn't see anything. So I'm not sure if you started after that or if there was already part, because before I went to my oncologist at that time, I was already having issues with my eyes, some black spots. Then they ordered, when I in the hospital, they ordered the MRI with no contrast, and my doctor required that with contrast. So I don't know if that was what showed or if it was just a coincidence, but they found that I had. So she told me I have MS. So now the next stage will be to go see a urologist and hopefully start treatment before it gets to the point where I won't be able to walk anymore or anything like that. So there's a lot of videos that I've seen of people that actually can live with MS. My goal is to make people aware so they avoid having it. And I think that it might not be, but it's like my oncologist said, don't beat you up over there. But I think I'm paying the price for not eating well. My whole life, I never ate vegetables. I ate a lot of junk food. And I think this is the price for that. If I maybe had been a little bit more careful, could be, or maybe it wouldn't make any difference, but at least I would think that if I ate better, if I exercised, maybe I would have saved all this trouble. Just want to leave it for you guys. Please be careful to what you eat and make sure that even if you like to eat the junk food, make sure you eat some vegetables too and exercise. I have to exercise now. I have no choice because my legs and my arms are hurting really bad, and it hurts really bad when I exercise too. I just came from a bike riding and I felt like exhausted. But it's one day at a time. So to simplify, just make sure if you have any of these symptoms, if you have any numbness on your fingers, on your feet, on your, like I had my whole left side, but it started with my feet first. If you have feeling like weakness or blurry vision or your vision is messed up. I also had constipation, diarrhea, memory loss. Sometimes I was thinking, what did I came here for? And I couldn't remember. But I'm doing better at that. I decided to just make sure I have a notepad with me all the time because I have to work. And I'm taking my husband with me to work. He's also a realtor. I'm a realtor, so he's also a realtor. So I'm training him. God forbid he needs to take over my clients. Hopefully it's not going to come to that because so far I'm pretty sharp still. I do have some days that I'm not feeling too well, but on those days I just take a day off and then have him work for me. So hopefully it's not going to come to that point. But thanks for watching. Please share this video, sign for my channel. My channel is actually an art channel because I love doing art, and I think that anything that helps you manage your stress is helpful. So this is a preparation for a jar that I'm gonna be doing with decoupage. So sign up. I'm gonna show you next time. When I do it, I'm gonna do a video on it as well, and I will be keeping up with my MS journey. I do probably separate videos for the MS journey, not mixing up with my art videos. And of course, I don't want anybody on my art video to be depressed over my MS journey. But hopefully it's going to be a good journey. It's going to be a positive one, and I'm going to be able to help a lot of people be aware. I certainly have had a lot of people that when I was diagnosed with colon cancer, a lot of people that would never even test it, they went up and they tested, they found polyps, and they took care of that before it became cancer. So my goal is to try to help as many people as I possibly can, and make people aware that if you feel anything wrong with you, please don't wait. You know, just go check it out, find out what's going on, and take care of yourself. All right, make sure you eat your vegetables if you're young. Don't wait until you're too old to eat them. But eat your vegetable. If you don't like vegetable like I don't, do juicing. The juicing tastes like orange if you put orange on it. So you can have your vegetables in liquid form. Thanks for joining me, guys. Please sign up for the future videos and let's be part of my journey. Please leave your comment, what you think, and any questions you may have. I'll be glad to answer. Thanks so much for being part of my day. Mwah. Bye.